Hey, good morning, everybody. Trian Top here, leadership performance coach who is helping women take more confident action to lead themselves through their next level in business and life. We all want to do that, right? We all want to go confidently in the way of our dreams. So, today, one of the things we're going to talk about during Lead Yourself are 3 ways that you can use proximity or this idea of proximity to take your life and business, collapse time, and reach those big targets even faster. Why do we want to do that? Because we can get caught, we can get stopped in this over analyzing, right? So, for instance, a client of mine this week was like, I don't know how you go live so often. It totally looks like you're put together. And I thought, you know what? Today, I am going to make sure that I share with you guys, and I have within the Female Leader Headquarters group, ways that I have just like clicked that live button on my phone. Sometimes it's in my car. Sometimes it's more structured like this through StreamYard. But ultimately, the point is you have value and you have knowledge and you have content to share that is going to bring energy or light up the life of another person. Why would you hold that to yourself? And why would you be concerned about the way that you look when you bring it? Well, part of it is branding. And yes, I get that. But I don't want that. And that's my message. I don't want that branding to be the thing that holds you back, that fear of coming on camera no matter what. So today for me, I literally just got out of the shower. I'm taking my kids to the fair today. We're super excited about being able to go to our county fair today. But I wanted to jump in here real quick and give you those 3 ways that you can use proximity and apply this idea to your business or to your life. So are we ready to get started? If you're ready to get started, let me know down in the comments whether you're live or replay so that I can make sure that I can shout you out when you're able to come on. So first of all, what does proximity mean? What does proximity mean? Proximity is literally just the nearness of the space between 2 objects. So how do we apply this when it comes to business? The nearness of the space between 2 objects is literally just in your bubble, as we teach in character education, in your personal space, who and what kind of people, thoughts, experiences are you allowing? And yes, I'm going to say allowing or creating because we know as entrepreneurs, as women, as people who are leading themselves, that the way that we fill that bubble intentionally is going to be the way that we show up in many other areas of our life. And it's either going to, I'm not going to say make or break our business, but it's either going to add value or detract value from our relationships and our business. So I wanted to share with you today 3 ways that you can apply this idea in your business, in your life. Okay, are we ready? So intention without action means nothing. So once we know, what do we have to do? We have to apply what we know. So I want you to stay till the end because I'm going to give you a couple action steps that you can do today and get proximity into your practice. Okay. So let's get started. 3 tips that are going to next level your ideas and your action steps around proximity. Number 1, we have to think about who and what kind of mentors or content are we absorbing? What are we allowing in that personal space? So the closer that you get to a person, the more influence that person has on you and they have on your decisions, on your day-to-day impact, the way that you look at things. And an example of this is I want you to pay attention to who and what is in your social media feed. This is a great example that all of us are influenced by every single day. So when you first get onto your social media platform feed, are you seeing things that you are either comparing yourself to? Are you seeing things that are lighting you up, that are inspiring you, that are motivating you, that are empowering you? Are you catching up with old friends? Are you catching up with new business connections, new collaborations? Are you able to feel better, feel more encouraged when you are finished going through the scroll? We all do it. Even if you let me give you a little tip to give yourself a time limit for the scroll. So we have to think about, what are we and who are we? Whose energy are we absorbing and then letting into our mind? Because we also have to remember, when it comes to mindset, that we think over 70 to 90,000 thoughts a day, and over 90% of those are on repeat. So what you are allowing by repetition into your proximity or that inner circle is going to influence your life, your decisions, the way you think, the things that you do, and ultimately who we become. So who are you allowing in that inner circle? Now, I want us to think about, if there is a certain mentor that we want to follow, if there is a certain person that, we're like, I really like that person's vibe, they are my jam, then how do you get in that circle with them? Well, when I first started in leadership, I'm sorry, but YouTube wasn't a thing, guys. YouTube wasn't a thing. Instagram wasn't a thing. It wasn't so easy to get those people that we want to follow in our sites right at our fingertips. Podcasts. I didn't even start listening to podcasts until I was 36. I didn't even know that was a thing on my phone. My sister was like, "Do you listen to podcasts?" And I said, "I don't even know what that means." And she's like, "It's a free app on your phone." The second that I chose to intentionally level myself up by putting those type of people in my mental proximity, everything changed for me. And I can share that story another time. But I want to give you an example of that specifically, because today, and like I said, at the end of this, I'll give you some action steps, but you could change your mental proximity today, within the next hour. Okay. So everybody can do this to get to their next level. Okay. Number two is that you make the choice to create proximity. So if it's not in front of you, get closer to it. I already talked about the feed, but what about books? What kind of books are on your shelf? You guys can see mine here. Leaders are readers, right? So don't just collect and build the shelves. One of the things that I do when I read a book is I take that book and I read it chapter by chapter. One of my favorite books, and I'm actually reading it again. Let me show you and tell me if this is one of your favorites as well. This was a game changer for me. I've got Atomic Habits up there too, and you can see it doesn't have a dust jacket. There's a reason for that. It's because my dog ate it. Ridiculous. The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. That is my absolute favorite book. Now, I have this one in paper or in hardcover because I like to write in it. I like to highlight it. I like to tag it with Post-it notes. So make sure, one of the things I like to do with books is that I'm going to read a chapter, I'm going to take something from it, and I'm going to implement it, or I'm going to teach it. I'm going to read a chapter, I'm going to implement it, I'm going to teach it. I'm going to read a chapter, right? So you're taking action on these books and not just absorbing the information, because we know that we don't really actually learn anything and really absorb anything until we actually put it into practice. And as leaders, that's one of the great things that we get to do in our roles, is that we get to take this knowledge, we get to share it out, and we get to empower and encourage and inspire other people to want to do the same thing. All right. So next piece I have on there is YouTube. We'll be putting this up obviously on YouTube later so that we can share out all this positivity around proximity. However, YouTube has become, if not the largest, one of the largest search engines that we all use, right? So type in proximity, type in networking, type in a mentor that you love to follow. I would suggest Mel Robbins. I'm obsessed with her. I would also suggest Brendon Burchard. I would also probably suggest Ed Mylett. I just read his book I read it for the second time, first on Audible, then on paper. And then find someone even close in your area that is emulating those character traits that you would want to see in a mentor. Get that person in your circle. And I'm not asking you to build a relationship only based on what they can do for you, what kind of value they can bring to you, what can they teach you, but build those relationships, because if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. We've talked about this in the Female Leader Headquarters because it's so important to be surrounding yourself with people who are at that next level that you want to get to, figuring out how to get there, and then what can you offer them? And the example I would give of this is I have a lot of people that we network with, right? And rather than just reaching out with those people and saying, hey, I need this, hey, I need this, and I know that you can provide that value. Instead, I'm saying, hey, I would love to bring you in my group. I'd love to bring you in my group and share your expertise. In exchange, I can either come into your group, I can write a post for you, I can help you go through your social media as an audit. So I'm always providing that value and an offer to match the value that they are bringing to me. And we all have value to offer. So you just have to look inside of yourself for that. Number 3, pay attention. Pay attention and make some intentional changes. Again, intention without action means nothing. It's not getting us anywhere. So what I want you to do is do this 360. Do this 360 work, life, kids, hobbies. Who are you letting in that inner circle, in your proximity? Because we are either always enrolling or being enrolled into the opinions of others or ourselves. And I would give you an example of this. I was going to write a book once called The Leadership Lessons I Learned from My 4-year-old. Why? Because kids are relentless in their negotiations. They have the best creativity and imagination, and they never allow themselves to stop. So when you think of proximity, I am thinking about who is going to be around my kids, who is going to be around my family, who is going to be involved with our business, right? But also for my kids, when I'm thinking of like, how are they being enrolled or how are they enrolling other people in their ideas? Well, I want to make sure that my kids are feeling so confident in their decisions that there is absolutely no way, right? That it doesn't matter who they are around. They are going to be able to have that strong confidence in themselves and their beliefs. Okay. So are they enrolling other people in their ideas, or are they being enrolled? And I want you to think about that for yourself as well, when it comes to your work, when it comes to your life, when it comes to your hobbies. Okay. So are we ready for action steps? If we're ready for action steps, let's see that down below. We want our action steps, right? Because again, if we don't actually put some of this into play, it's just knowledge that we're taking in and not doing anything with. And as leaders, that's the great thing that we get, is we get to take some of this information, we get to share it out. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to get that pen and paper out, and I want you to get pen to paper, and I want you to say, these are the things that I would like to learn next level or apply to my business. So what are those things, right? Put those down in the chat for people so that they can see those as well. There might be something who's looking for the same thing that you are, or there might be somebody who has that thing that you're looking for. So list things that you feel like would help you get to your next level, or that you'd like to learn in your business. Next to those topics, list people you already know. Are there people that you already know that can help you with whatever that topic is? List ways that you can get involved in your community, whether that's an online community or that's in your personal, out in your person-to-person community. How can you get involved with people that could help you with those things that you'd like to learn or next level in your business or your life? The next thing that I would say is, if you reach out to somebody so there was 3 action steps. Okay. So be present. Next thing I'm going to say is be present. When you do get the chance to meet with that mentor or that person in the community, make sure that you put just as much power, just as much attention to the answers that you are receiving than the importance of the questions you are asking. Don't hear what I'm not saying. I am saying, make sure that when you get in the presence of these people that you would like to call mentors, don't worry so much about the way that you are forming the question. Instead, it's about, What answer are you wanting to get from them? What is it that you'd like to know that you can apply to your business or your life? And be pointed with those questions, but really listen to the answers. Okay. And seek to understand. Seek to understand what it is that that person is sharing with you and how they got to where they are, because obviously that's why you're looking at them as a mentor. All right. I want to thank you guys for joining today. I do want to share a couple of things that we have coming up in the Female Leader Headquarters over this next couple months. So in August, we have an action-oriented workshop that's coming up August 22nd through the 24th that we are going to refocus on our morning rush, how you go from feeling stressed to feeling intentional and really designing your life using an individual morning routine. And we're talking big picture thinking. We're setting ourselves and our teams up for this big next school year restarting. Drop a sunshine below in the comments if that's something that you would like information on. And then in September, I just had a conversation with somebody that we're going to collab. I have a guest trainer coming in to the Female Leader Headquarters that I'm going to be teaming up with to talk about nutrition and movement, how we can lead ourselves through those two pieces. I know this is something that I could definitely do next level. So drop a let's go down below, and I'm going to make sure that you get the deets that come out on that so that you are the first to know. All right. I have a goal of doubling the Female Leader Headquarters by January because we have things to do next year, people. We have things to do in the next 4 months. And the more positivity and leadership we can create in the proximity around us, then we need that to combat some of the chaos that is going on in this world. And if you get value from this group, whether it's Systems to Scale or the Female Leader Headquarters, then share this group out to at least 3 people and let's build that leadership around you. Proximity, right? That's how it gets started. Who do you want in your inner circle? You guys have a great day. Trian here, and I'll talk to you soon.